Doom Eternal. All right. What Doom Eternal does that I've noticed from the little bit I've played so far is that not only do you have to strategize with weapons, but also certain weapons work better towards certain enemies. So when the first one, most of your guns are just, hey, this blows up shit a lot or this shoots shit good, so I'll use this here, I'll use this there. In Eternal, there's a whole like, okay, there's this spider demon enemy that comes up and my grenade launcher on my shotgun will connect to the gun on top of his head and blow him up. That works good. Using my machine gun is not really a good choice. Even if I switch to the rockets on the machine gun, it's not a good choice. But if I got the sniper on the machine gun, I can pop that gun just like the grenade does. So I have some options, but also it's you need to have weapons for certain things. And from what I can tell, as it progresses, it'll probably be more and more of that as more weapons and stuff come up, which is interesting. I'm playing it on Nightmare mode, on Classic mode. Classic mode is dope. Basically, it Mega Man's Doom Eternal. Meaning, do you remember in Mega Man where you're playing a level and you only got like maybe 3 lives? And you can maybe reach checkpoints, but once you lose all your lives, you go back to the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what Doom Eternal does, but for the whole game.
That sounds terrible.
So I could get halfway into the game, lose all my lives, and start way back from the beginning.
Fuck that.
That's what I'm going to do. And that actually already happened to me. I got to the second level, lost all my lives, shot right back to the beginning. And I was like, okay, I'm in for a mountain.
Do you get energy tanks?
Yeah. You know, you get health all through, and you can find secret areas and get more extra lives. So you don't just stick with the 3. So you can progress that way. Now, this is just an option. Like Jesse, you don't have to play classic mode. You can play regular mode with checkpoints and do that. This is just a difficulty setting. So the one I haven't done is Ultra Nightmare Run. Ultra Nightmare Run is basically beat the game and don't die.
Ugh.
That's that. So on the hardest difficulty setting, and I don't even think I'm gonna do that. But I'm going to try the extra life one because I find it fun. It reminds me of like old games, that old feeling of getting extra lives and then playing through. And I think that's pretty dope. Like I really enjoyed that option. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but you see those games like back in the NES days, like you could play Contra and beat Contra in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
you could probably use. They were a lot shorter. That's why they were.
Well, this game is kind of shorter too, but and also you can save your progress as you go along. Like you don't have to beat it in one setting either. But if you lose all your lives, you start from the beginning. So, and look,
when it makes you start from the beginning, does it purge your save or can you save scum?
No, it purges your save.
Yeah,
no save scum, but it gets rid of your fucking save. Believe me, it did it to me. But it does save your stats though. So like for instance, I got or like a trophy thing, I think really. So it does save your stats. So like it was like, hey, blow up 20 guys with barrels, and even though I died, I was still able to reach that 20 guy barrel accomplishment marker. So yeah,
kill 20 guys with 1 barrel.
No. Like over time, blow up enemies with the explosive barrels 20 times basically, or like kill 20 of them. So. No, it's really dope. I enjoy the way Doom Eternal started off with you just on this like space station and you're hearing like people like, help us, who's gonna help us? And then it just camera shows Doom guy with a fucking shotgun and he just walks through a portal onto Earth and it's like boom.
He's Doom Slayer now. So.
Yeah, Doom Slayer. Sorry. But anyways, it's fucking dope. I really enjoy Doom. Doom is really reaching to be one of my top favorite shooter games, for sure. Like, it's just a lot of fun playing. And even classic mode, even the classic Doom, but 1993. Like, I really enjoyed that. Like, I enjoyed the way the first episode ended. I need to go back to it. I want to play the second and third and go through the episodes. But I stopped at the first one because I wanted to play some of these. And I wanted to play the 2016 Doom to get ready for Eternal. But once I'm done and I kind of get around to it, I'm going to go back to the classic and play through that on Nightmare. That's pretty bad. But yeah, I had to save scum that. That shit is hard as fuck. So, so that's Doom. Resident Evil 3, the demo. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I actually played the demo twice back to back when I streamed.
Did you find the Charlies? Did you go back and through and try to find all the Charlies?
No, I found 5 of them total. Can you find 20? Can you find all 20?
It hasn't been confirmed, but people have found 19, and people are saying that they're not sure if it's confirmed. You can find the 20th
I think
one.
if you can find 19, you got to be able to find 20. Like, there's no way it's like 19, but not the last one. Like,
That's what I said, because nobody seems to be able to find his last one, and they're thinking that because the demo ends, like when you're getting chased by
you can't kill Nemesis.
You can't kill Nemesis in this one.
I downed him 3 fucking times. And then on the 3rd time, he was down for a long time. Like, I have it all like recorded. Like, I plan to put it up.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't played the demo, but I've watched like a lot of people play through it and like collect all the things and stuff. I want to go and play it myself once I get the time. But
yeah, shout out to Nana Pratt. He actually joined me on the stream while I was playing Resident Evil 3, the demo, yesterday. So, but yeah, it's really good. I mean, of course, the graphics and everything are pretty crisp. Everything looks real good, and there's just a lot of fun stuff. Like, there's movie posters up that are just kind of fun movie posters, playoffs of like Terminator, Alien, and like just like a bunch of different movies like that was kind of funny. There was like some kind of death bowling movie poster, and it's just like a bowling ball with teeth that look like a demon. It was hilarious.
You're talking about Resident Evil 3, right?
Yeah, the new one, the remake.
Yeah, I saw there's a poster of Dr. Wily and Dr. Light.
Yeah, there is.
And it's like the 2 doctors feuding or some shit like that, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, there is.
yeah, there's a toy advertisement for a Mega Man, and it's the picture from Mega Man 2 box art cover, I think it is.
Oh God, bad box.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing. So it's pretty dope. It's really good. So other than that, Nemesis can't kill him.
Did you notice any differences? Because when I was watching through some of the streamers play through it, I noticed a couple of differences.
There's a few, but it's hard to tell, right? Because it's the demo and it starts you off in the train,
Right.
which is kind of like in the
yeah.
original, that's kind of farther along in the game when you get the train. Also, there's survivors. That's different. Because in the original, there are no survivors. But in the in this one, you're in the train and you're trying to get the train started to get the survivors out of Raccoon City.
I remember I saw there's the mercenaries, but like
civilians, like survivor civilians. They're in a train and they're just stuck there, like holed up. And so the umbrella guys are like, "Hey, we need to try and save these people." So like Carlos is telling you, like, "Okay, you're gonna go out. I'm gonna stay here with the Russian guy with his very fucking thick accent." And to help him because he got stabbed or something, or maybe he got bit. I don't know, but I don't think.
Yeah, that was the guy who blew himself up in the original.
Maybe that's what happened because I don't think he should have got bit because he's basically the bad guy towards the end of that game, at least in the original. So I don't know if they're going to change it up.
I think that's another guy. That was a different guy. Remember there was when you go.
No, the Russian guy was the
bad.
bad guy at the end. Oh, like he was one of the bad guys. He was in for himself, basically. Like
he was. But there was a guy who was injured. He was laying in the train when we got there.
Yes, there is, and they didn't have that guy there. You're right. There is a guy like that, and he's not in the train that I saw in this demo.
Yeah, but I think that's supposed to have been the guy, the dude that was like stabbed. But I think they might have merged him or something. I don't know.
No, because it's the Russian, it's Nikolai. So for sure, that's what that is. Anyways, so that's a little different there. Another difference, not difference, but one thing is the dodge mechanic is much easier to use, especially against Nemesis, because that was the issue I kind of had.
No more tank controls.
Well, not just the tank controls, but even the dodge mechanism. Because like in the original, it's kind of hard to nail that shit down. But the dodge mechanic is pretty useful. Like, well, it was useful in the original. Like, I got a hold of the dodge mechanic pretty good after a while. But, with the tank controls, it still made it hard to really maneuver around Nemesis. This one, you can even see on some of my gameplay. Like, I dodged, and then when you dodge, if you dodge good, it slows down, and you can come up with the gun and pop Nemesis. So it is built a little bit with the combat focus in mind, which I mean, I heard the developers, I think in one interview or another, they said this is going to be a little more action focused and more gunplay and all that kind of shit. So it's looking good. I mean, there was a good bit of ammo, but at the same time, you're playing on standard mode, not on hardcore or like because when I played on hard mode on the hardcore setting for Resident Evil 2 remake, like ammo was scarce, and it's like
I feel
to
I'm
fight
expecting it to be the
bosses.
same way.
Yeah, because to fight bosses in remake and 2 remake, I would be down to the last bullet. Like I had one video I put up where I was fighting Tyrant. And literally, I had a grenade left. That's it. If this grenade didn't kill him, I had to die and try it again because you got to be precise with your shots. And I threw the grenade and it blew up and Tyrant died. I was like, thank God, cutscene. But I had no ammo. That's how scarce it is. So I'm curious to see if hardcore mode is going to do that. Or are they still going to be a little more generous with the ammo? Because it is a little more action focused with fighting Nemesis. So I don't know. I'd be curious to see. So it's hard to gauge right now.
Yeah, from what I read, they're going to end up combining like one of the two of the enemies, the spiders and the like the little roach creatures. They said they were going to combine those two together. Mm-hmm. So then they got a new status effect. So I'm suspecting that hardcore mode is probably still going to end up being, pretty difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to doubt that. I'm just curious if the scarcity of ammo is going to be the problem or if it's just going to be like, loss of health or whatever's going to make it difficult. That's what I'm curious about. So,
yeah.
But anyways,
you like your games to be hard, man.
Huh?
You like your games to be like super difficult.
Yeah, I do. The only thing I don't care for with difficulty is saves. Like that's the only thing that I feel like when I was talking about Doom, like when you beat it in one run or you go back to the beginning or like, cause some people make difficulty like, you just can't save. That's what makes it difficult. Yeah. And I mean, that does, but I don't really care for that version of difficult. I like
that's more like to do something like that, a mode like that. That's more like a challenge run. Yeah, because you could just do that anyways. Yeah, even if they didn't have that mode, you could just go through the game. Because the enemies aren't any more difficult than they are on Nightmare, and you could just say, "Oh well, I'm gonna play on Nightmare, and I'm not gonna save."
Yes, they would be the same. It's actually the same difference. You're right. So. Yeah.
I usually like just the standard. I like to play the game like the way it was like made to be played. Obviously, when you get really good at a game, like if I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm fighting the computer, like I'll usually put it up to hard, or something. So I guess maybe that's just it. Like I said, like I'm playing those Tomb Raider games because they're just so much fun. But to tell you the truth, man, those games are easy mode, bro. Those games are not hard. But they're just so much fun. I love the exploration, the puzzles, and even the combat, like that Uncharted style combat, third person action shooter shit. I love that shit. But I don't know, man. Playing I couldn't imagine playing Doom on like Nightmare. Like I chose Hurt Me Plenty, and I'm just gonna leave it there because it's already fast. I mean,
no, it's cool, man. It's not a jab or anything about anything or something.
Yeah, we're not trying to like gatekeep or anything.
Why are you calling me a bitch for it, guys? You're bullying me.
Nah, man. It's just the way I like to play. Like sometimes I feel like when I play normal mode or I play these modes, it's just too easy. So I like
a lot of times it is, yeah.
So I like to go hard, even if I die a lot. I enjoy that because one thing I guess that I like about it is like the accomplishment feeling after you do it. I like that feeling.
It does make you work harder for it.
So and I think that's what I strive for in my games. Is I like I fucking beat it, and I don't care if I have the highest score. I don't care if it's the highest score. I don't care if it's the flashiest thing. I just I beat it. I did this hard thing, and I beat it, and that's just kind of it for me. Some people like to go over the top with it, or maybe not over the. It's whatever you want to do, but like some people do like I'm gonna do it with no saves. I'm gonna do it in an hour. Or I'm gonna do whatever the case is, and that's cool. Like I like seeing those things. That's called
speed running. Yeah.
Exactly. I like seeing those things from time to time too. In fact, I mean I'll go ahead and plug it here because I might even have it started by the time this episode drops. I'm looking to do a Facebook group. I've been bouncing around. It looks like Facebook is going to be the place to do it. I think to start, called Hard Mode Only. And that's going to be a group for two things. One, where you can share all your footage from playing games on the hardest difficulty, whether it's you getting your ass kicked or you beating it. I don't care. So that's one. And two, it's to talk stories of games, like to talk about the stories, because the focus of Hard Mode Only is going to be like single player storied games. So no multiplayer stuff. If you're good at Call of Duty Online, great. We don't want the videos there. You can put the video somewhere else. I want just like gameplay of like things like Devil May Cry, Doom, fucking Resident Evil, or anything like that.
Yeah, we want to see you beating like DMC3 on like Dante Must Die.
Yeah, or something like that, or even Heaven and Hell or something, whatever. So I think that would be like fun. I want to see those, and then also like story discussions, like because it's story-based games. So like I think it's also cool to do that because that's kind of the stuff I'm into as well. To bring up like character, story, plot. I think even fighting games could be there, but I want to see the one-player hard mode computer run, not online fighting other people. I want it to be hard mode only on that kind of stuff. And even if you don't play games on hard mode, I think you can still join the group, of course. But just anything you post, either it could be story-oriented, or if you're going to do like a video clip or something, do it on the hardest difficulty. So that people who join could just watch others like, they're doing on this fucking hard-ass difficulty. They're playing this game like this. And I think that would be cool. So we're going to try and kick off the group and do that. I got some artwork being made up for it. I think it's actually a pretty dope image that my man Jerome is supposed to be doing. So as soon as that's done, that's what I'm kind of waiting for. And then I want to kick it off with that. So the concept of the art is I'll wait till it's done. We'll get into it. So
leave it. Let it be a surprise.
Yeah, we'll get into it later. But anyways,
that's kind of like a rule. Like when you have like a working project like in the works, like do it before you tell people.
Yeah.
Like that happens a lot with like music. Like people like constantly are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and then you never do it because you told everybody you were gonna do it.
True.
Like I saw some chick online. She's like, "I'm writing a song called something like some shit like there is no socialism and communism, some fucking stupid thing," and I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, "Bitch, you're not even gonna write that song anymore because you already got all the dopamine. You already got like 30 comments on it."
Yeah.
Because you said this idea, and now what you've done is you kind of screwed yourself over because now you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you've already kind of I don't know. It's like it's pretty difficult, like with music and stuff, to like not want to talk about ideas you have. But I've noticed that if I ever like have a cool idea for a concept song or album, and I start talking about it, it never gets done. And so yeah, I don't know why I'm going off about that.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, but for me, it's gonna get done. I mean, the group's gonna now the artwork. That's not on me. I can't control that, so it may not be done. But me, the group, I'll start it up whether the artwork's there or not. I'm just giving it a little more time to see if he's gonna do it because he's been talking to me about it, and we've got the concept of the image in place. It's just like a little image. And it's basically going to be with the wolf characters. That's all. It's just in theme with everything that I've got with Who's Next. So, also another thing too. Until this coronavirus stuff gets done, we're going to put a hold on the Gamer Needs Food badly. So Kev, whenever you get that video up for the Street Fighter one, we'll put that out there. And that's going to be it because the way that food is being scarce and all that, I just don't know if it's right to just make a show about food when people are struggling to even get it, at least down here in New Orleans. Like you go to Walmart and the shelves are wiped and all this stuff. I've stocked up on some meats and stuff to help out. So even though like it's not impossible to get food, it may not be that. I don't know how appropriate it'd be to do that until things have calmed down. So we're going to put a pause on that. I still want to show that Street Fighter video because that was filmed way before. So,
Oh, yeah, man, I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, so whenever that's done, we're going to get it up. So actually, we're waiting for Mr. Patrick over here to cut the letters. That's what we've been waiting on so this video can get out. It's Patrick.
Word.
It's fucking Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into some of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X stuff. Patrick, how you feeling other than bored from PlayStation 5 talk?
Oh, well, the solid state drive was one of the most requested features from game developers. The dude could put you to sleep. I mean, it's a lot of interesting stuff if you're into that, but it's just show the fucking box.
Yeah,
Just
show me the
damn-
box. What's in the box?
Just show the fucking
Hang on, Mark
box.
Cerny. That man is a genius.
I don't care if he's a
might be.
genius or not. He's a boring genius.
Yeah.
Well, most geniuses are boring.
Yeah.
Like, name an interesting one.
Albert Einstein. He was pretty crazy, I think, right? So that would have been
All
interesting.
geniuses are a little bit crazy.
I guess so. It was kind of weird that they had the shadow cutouts like sitting there.
It looked
And-
like Mystery Science.
but yeah, it did look like Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's
I
what
watched
I thought.
and one of them moved, so it must
Yeah,
have been
I
people.
saw one of them move too. So I was like, are they people or are they just shadows? But see, one guy was leaning to the left the whole time. And I was like, your back's got to be fucked up after all that. Like, that can't be a person. Because there was one guy who had this little tilt. And I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? So one of the things I actually did find interesting from the talk that I
What
think...
I like to imagine with that is that that was like probably like one of the stagehands, and
maybe so.
the presentation came up, the curtains came up, and lights went down and everything,
Yeah.
and he just kind of got stuck there, and he just had to stay there like that. 'Cause if he moved, he'd have got fired.
Yeah, but somebody like scratched their nose. Somebody like moved. There was like one or two times somebody moved, but for the most part, they were pretty still. I
Right.
wasn't sure if they were people or not.
I was waiting to see one of them just nod off.
You
Like,
just fall out. That'd be amazing.
like he fell asleep too.
Yeah, fucking right.
Even like Wario64. I don't know if
Yeah.
you follow him on Twitter. He does all the deals. So he
I think I do after you've been sending me so many of his
yeah.
tweets.
So
it's like, yeah,
so
I
he's
follow.
like, oh, this is coming on, and he like did a picture. He does a picture of this.
Yeah.
He said when the guy came on stage, and then is like he got bored, and then he tweeted, he's like, he said into the Matrix. I woke up, but no new news. It's like-
This is one of the things I took away that was interesting. Okay. So, one of the things he talked about is that this solid state drive is going to make things so fast that typically when you're playing a game, levels are designed in a way to give you basically boring elements, like a winding passageway. Or
Right,
maybe
so
you
it
go
could
down
load
the elevator
stuff.
so it can load stuff.
Right.
So, now with how fast it is, whole level designs will change. Because now the time it might take you about 20 seconds to load up new assets or something like that with how it is now, you can just have your character turn around.
It's gonna be way less than that.
Yeah, well that's what he's saying. He's saying in the new one, you could just turn your character around and everything's loaded up behind you.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so now levels can be designed more for function than having to be designed with like, okay, we need a downtime for a loading thing, and we need this thing here to load that, and all this kind of shit. So that's interesting because it's going to change.
I mean, but it's stuff that I needed to fucking know that. I mean, like, wow, these
You're right.
These castles that we're in don't have long stairways.
I mean, developers need to know that kind of stuff.
Right, I feel like it
Us,
wasn't-
We could be shown it, but that talk was for developers originally. So
right.
everybody else just decided to tune in and was like, "Oh no, I don't know what he's talking about."
Show the fucking box.
Show me the box. That's what Xbox did right. They were like, "Look at my box. You see my big box."
You seen they did a picture of the Xbox?
Literally a box. It's
Yeah.
They did a.
you could
literal
slap an
box.
Xbox logo on a refrigerator and it would be the same thing.
Well, they did
looks
a
like a refrigerator.
reference. They did a scale reference. They showed an Xbox Series X, and they did a refrigerator. And it's like actual size.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking fridge.
What
yeah.
assholes?
But the other thing too was the sound stuff that he was talking about. I can see that being very useful for online play, for people who playing Call of Duty and stuff, and people who have their
Well,
headphones
not
on.
just that, but just for any kind of atmospheric elements. Because if it's
Yeah.
actually neural 3D like sound and stuff, imagine being able to play through, I don't know, an open world game and actually being able to hear like there's grass underneath you.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's not as useful for like
Yeah.
playing in game, like how we typically play. But I'm talking about for online specifically, I think it's going to change the game too about like, oh, that dude's behind me. And like knowing, because that's what he talked about, even knowing exactly where behind you, like maybe
Yeah.
at 4:00. Then just, oh, he's just on the right somewhere.
So even with that, it's all depends on what you have. Like if you're just playing with the sound off your TV, it's not gonna make any fucking difference. You have to have a gaming headset or surround sound to be able to take advantage of that anyway. Because even if you play, I have a decent surround sound in my living room. I tell you, the best sound design games are fucking Lego games.
Nice.
I shit you not. They provide the best surround sound. But playing like Call of Duty, any shooters like that, like you can hear footsteps, you can hear people creeping up behind. You know where they're at if you have the right kind of thing. But if you play it on your television, it doesn't fucking make a difference.
Right.
Yeah,
if you just got 2-channel output, then you're not really going to get the full effect of it. Yeah. You're going to need something, either buy an expensive pair of headsets or you're going to need a surround sound system or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even sure. I mean, I didn't watch the conference, but what the hell are you talking about? Because we already have like surround sound where you can hear where people are behind you, above you, below you.
Yeah, but they're talking about a little more of a pinpoint of exactly knowing, and also
what Seth is talking about. What he's talking about is that imagine you're in a scene where it's raining, and instead of just hearing the rain, you can hear each individual raindrop falling, and different sounds from the rain instead of just because the way it works, it's more in detail, like that kind of detail.
All right. Yeah, I guess everything, all the processing part, everything's gonna pretty much get ramped up. So if you think it sounds good now, it's gonna sound just better.
Which is actually is kind of going to be interesting. Will those affect the older games? Because like they're claiming like, at least for the foreseeable future, a lot of the PS5 titles are going to be playable for PS4. And then they talked about too, like, well, only about 100 games are going to be able to play for PlayStation 4. Then they came back and said, oh, no, wait, it'll be about 1,000 titles will be good from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5.
That's because of the way the PS5 is doing backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
They're doing software emulation, kind of, and not like an accurate software emulation. It's more of a generalized thing. So that's why they came and they said at that time, like, we got to make sure and check that every title is going to work, because maybe some titles won't work with it, because that's just how emulation is.
Okay, well, I mean, this definitely looks like, though, once developers get a hang of the PlayStation 5 and putting games out for it, these games are not going to be able to be played on PlayStation 4. Like, to load the assets the way that they're talking about, like,
it's gonna take way too long.
Yeah, there's no way you can play these on PlayStation 4. So PlayStation 4 will become an obsolete system in time as newer games come out for the PlayStation 5.
Well, I think he was saying too, like if you have an external hard drive hooked up that's just a regular external hard drive, not SSD, that you can put your games on there, but they're not gonna run like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Right, that's just because of the way the
because instead of loading like
work.
But not only
5 gigs a second, they're gonna run
but I mean,
100 megabytes.
Right. But even not only that, the whole point of being able to load things faster is to change level design. You can't just have a new level that is designed for this because you're playing on a PlayStation 4. You're going to have to play on PlayStation 5 if we're going to see these new visionary ways to play games on these new levels and the way they're designed. Like, instead of sitting in a 20-second elevator going down to load up the assets to the next part of the game, now you could just zip right there. So, and shit's like right there. So like it's supposed to change things. If the levels aren't designed with that in mind, either it's going to be the most terrible experience playing on a PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5 titles, or it's just not going to be able to be played.
Right.
Now, I'm assuming, sure, the first games for the PS5 will be built with the PlayStation 4 in mind, but as developers are wanting to push the boundaries of their games,
well,
they've
never said that you'll be able to play PS5 games on PS4. That's Xbox.
Weird.
Xbox is the one saying, "Hey, you get Halo Infinite. It will play on whatever Xbox series you have." Yeah. So Xbox is the one doing basically like the PC scaling, where you got the Series X, you could have it on ultra settings, and if you have it on fucking the original Xbox One, it's going to be on.
Okay.
It's going to be on Fortnite on your phone settings.
I've been debating whether or not to get a Series X or a PS5. I think I'm leaning more towards the PS5 because I'm definitely going to get both, but I'm just wondering when I'm going to get the first.
So I got some gift cards and I got some rewards that I'm going to put towards my PlayStation 5, but I'm like, if Switch is like, hey, we got a beefed up Switch, I'm canceling that pre-order.
That's not happening. You're not going to get
it. Doesn't matter.
You're not going to get
I'm just showing where my priorities lie. Where my priorities lie.
I hear your priorities, but you know what? Just get the PS5, and I'm going to take it from you because you don't play games, and I'll keep it at my house, and then whenever you want to play it, you just come on over. Just keep the coronavirus away. Yep.
See, the wife tells you I get every system anyway, but it's
That's
just
right. You the boss.
I got the. It's true.
Yeah,
She can't hear me. It's true.
Jesse and Kev don't know, but his wife's in the back and she's laughing at the boss comment. So, sure.
But it's it's whatever you play. If you like Halo, you like Gears, get a fucking Xbox. You like the PlayStation games, get a fucking PlayStation.
Well, the thing about it, the Xbox that I like is their Game Pass. Like, honestly, there's some pretty decent games on that Game Pass. And I've been playing some, and my kids have been playing some, and it's a pretty decent deal. And to get the Series X, and Series X is more powerful than the 5. It is, just as far as like the stuff with it. But being able to play like third-party games on that system as well as that, like I just spent a couple $100 on a Pro. So that's why I'm kind of like, I haven't my Xbox S I've had for quite some time. So as well as kind of debating it, but I don't know. I think I might just go get the 5. Fuck it. Give my son the Pro. Let him have that. You don't have a TV that'll be capable of anything, but maybe I need to upgrade his TV then. So I don't know. I'm a little debated. But I'm assuming most people here.
I got my Pro recently because I never buy systems on the first run, so I'll get a 5 on the second or third model after because they're gonna up that data because it's not even a terabyte. It's freaking 875 gigs.
Yeah, but they're selling those memory cards now. They're making specific memory cards.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that it has to be a certain specs, and then that puts the power back on them on pricing because back when they sold memory cards, it didn't have to be that expensive. So when you got these sticks that have to go in your system, both companies are doing it. It's going to be ridiculously priced.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to just buy a 4 terabyte hard drive and plug that bitch in like I got in my PlayStation now. Yeah. You're going to have to fucking pay $100 for 500 gigabytes because they're assholes and they could do that. Look at the cost. Yeah. You still can't buy a fucking Vita card with a decent amount of memory on it for a good price because they make it. It's proprietary to them.
Bastards.
Exactly.
That's how it's going. Well, that's what we got to look forward on the new systems for now. The next systems will probably just be in the cloud. That's what I'm thinking. It's quite possible. We might get another hardware system in the next 5 to 10 years, but I think once the infrastructure gets built up and internet is faster, I see that coming. Japan's already got like fucking, 100 gigabytes a second or some nonsense. Not that one. I think they got a gigabyte a second, but it's like $50 a month or some shit like that. Where right now, if I want a gig a second download speeds, it's like $120. And then I got a terabyte data cap. So if I want to get unlimited, I got to pay another $50 a month. So like streaming is not really an option, but I think it will be in time. And it's our sad future. It's going to happen. Well, we out of here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We go down the rabbit
Another
hole.
2.5 hour episode.
Hey,
for me
man.
to sort through.
Yeah, we go down the rabbit hole, talk about games, man. That's how it goes. So, all right, we out. Peace.
Later.